Chelsea Jensen here. Tonight we're going to whip up a quick dinner of steak and cheddar sandwiches, salad, and fresh fruit and baked potatoes. Earlier on live I did my baked potatoes and prepped them so they're going to be ready. And now I'm going to start on my steak and cheddar sandwiches. This is a quick meal that we have to go through and make on a like a night when I have sports. So my oldest daughter had soccer and now my son has basketball. So I'm making dinner fast to feed everyone real quick between it. So I'm just gonna start by cutting open 6 of these sandwiches. And I'm gonna put them on a tray that I'll put in the oven. Right now I have my oven preheating, or it's on the air fryer mode at 425, and that's gonna help my sandwiches cook up and crisp real nice. But this is the great thing about this recipe is it is such a quick and fast recipe when I need to feed my family really quick. And tonight is one of those nights when I have a double sports schedule. So I've got my sandwiches all right here. And now I'm going to get my cheese out. I'm going to place cheese on each one of them. I might need to grab my second set of cheeses out. I miscounted in my head, but I'm going to put a cheese on each slice because you're going to want that cheesy goodness to surround your meat. So I'm just going to, and this is breaking apart, but I'm going to place, this is the Tillamook sharp cheddar. You could use any cheese that you wanted, but I find that the cheddar pairs nicely with the steak. So I'm gonna place that right here. Nice. And you can tell it's extra sharp when it's starting to crumble before you can get it off. Perfect. And then I'm just gonna grab one more out of my refrigerator right over here. I have some more cheddar right in here. If I can find it, got another piece, perfect. And then I'm leaving one without cheddar because my son said he wanted one with no cheese on it. So I've got just perfect enough for there. And then one without, and I'm making sure that I have, let me turn my light on over here so you guys can see better when we go there. So this is gonna make 6 sandwiches, and we're feeding 7 tonight, but my little 2 will split a sandwich because they're pretty big. So what I'm putting in the middle of it is this sliced steak that you can get. I got it at Costco. You could cook up your own steak if you wanted. But for me, when I need a quick but yummy dinner out, this is perfect, and everyone likes it. It's sous vide, and it's already pre-cooked, so really in the oven, I'm just heating it up. So let me open it just like this. And you're gonna see it's already even pre-sliced, so once I pull it out of the package, I'll just put this over here. You can see it. Will break apart nicely. It's pre-sliced, which will be perfect for layering on our sandwiches. So I'm gonna go through and spread it nicely. And then once I'm done layering it, we'll put it in the oven for a few minutes to let it cook. It cooks pretty fast, which is great. And I'm gonna whip up a quick garlic aioli sauce that I will put on. That will just add a nice little burst of flavor to it. And then we'll have my baked potatoes will be out, and we'll chop up a quick salad. So this is a great dinner to make when you have very limited time, but it is a pleaser. Everyone always loves this dinner. But super simple. And you know, today I was just running around all day, and I was like, oh, what am I gonna cook for dinner tonight? And I forgot I had already bought this and planned ahead because I knew that on Thursdays we just have a crazy schedule. You know, they always say, oh, when you're little, you can't wait till your kids sleep in, but then you forget that youth sports prevents you from sleeping, and it takes up more time than anything your kids did when they were younger. Okay, I'm gonna cut this second package open. If you're a smaller family, you could probably get 2 dinners out of this pack if you wanted to, because
they want to know what time it is.
It is 8:18 here, so my goal is to have this dinner ready by 8:30 so that we can eat. We are night eaters. We eat later. My younger kids that stay home and don't go to school, they'll sleep in till 8:39, but that's because their bedtime is right after we eat dinner. But I like them to be able to spend as much time with my family, so it's not as important for them to get up early while my older ones are heading off to school. So I let them sleep in, and then they take a nice nap during the day, and then they'll go to bed at around between 8:30 and 9, just when our dinners serve. But they get a good 12 hours of sleep at night. So we've just shifted our schedule a little bit later so that they can be with the family more. Otherwise, they would be going to bed when like all of us are just starting to get home and be together. And you know, I'm really big on family and spending time together and having family dinners. And so with our hectic life, altering our schedule this way just made sense. And for me, as long as they're just getting enough sleep, they get 12 to 13 hours of sleep at night plus their naps, then we're golden. So now I have spread our steak strips out evenly across these sandwiches. And now we get to pop them in the oven. So I'm gonna wash my hands real quick because they've got some seasonings on it. And I'm gonna pop them in. I have them preheated my oven to 425 on the air fryer setting. So the air fryer setting essentially works kind of like a convection oven. So it's gonna blow the air around and it's gonna crisp it up nicely and help that cheese melt. So I'm gonna have this in here. I'm gonna let it cook for just a few minutes. It won't take long and you don't wanna overcook them. And now I'm going to prep my salad real quick and then take out our potatoes and do my garlic aioli. So before I prep my salad, I'm gonna do that. This is a super, super simple recipe. I'm just gonna do a nice squeeze of mayo, a good spoonful, probably about a teaspoon or so of garlic, some garlic salt, or not garlic salt, some black pepper, and then we'll do garlic salt. A good pinch of black pepper, and a shake of garlic salt. And I need to get a lemon. I forgot to grab a lemon, so I'm gonna go right out to my fridge. I have so many fridges in this house because we feed an army. So outside I actually have 3 fridges, so 4 in our house. But I'm gonna grab my lemon real quick. Because lemon juice, fresh lemon, you can't use that true lemon or whatnot, that just isn't, is the best thing for
you got
meal.
a comment saying that garlic salt's amazing. We put it on everything as well.
It is. Once you make the convert to that garlic salt, or to changing it and replacing it from regular salt, it just changes your flavor palette in your food. So I'm gonna give just a half a lemon right now, a good squeeze in here. And this is gonna help emulsify the sauce. So you already have the mayo in there, which is the fat, and this lemon juice is gonna help make it really creamy. And then you're just going to give it a real good stir. You can use a fork or a spoon, but I'm gonna whip it up real nice like this. And then I'm gonna give it a quick little taste. I think I'm gonna do a bit more garlic salt because I really want the garlic flavor to come out. Perfect. And we're just gonna be putting a little bit of this on our steak sandwiches to give a nice little moisture to it, the sandwich, because sometimes sandwiches can be dry if they have a lot of crusty bread. Perfect. Okay, now I'm gonna chop up my salad real quick. I like to buy the whole romaine just because I can buy a pack from Costco And it's like a 6-pack, and it will last us 2 weeks without going brown. Pre-cut lettuce, once you've cut it, it exposes the ends and it oxidizes and it turns brown and will wilt just like a banana or apple or something that you cut open. So I always like to get this and then cut it when I need it. I'm gonna break those apart. And then I'm gonna add a red sweet pepper in it. This is not a spicy pepper, but looks like a giant one. But it's just a sweet pepper to add a little bit of crunch. My middle child, my daughter, she loves sweet peppers like I do. Some of my kids don't like it, but I always expose it to them. They say you need to try a food 7 times before you can have a true decision on whether you like it or not. So I just keep having them try it over and over, and eventually I think they'll learn to like it. Put a quick dice in here. And then we're gonna go take a peek over at our sandwiches because we don't want them to overcook. So they were nice to eat, so the meat is already cooked through. What we're looking for is for the cheese melting and for it to be warmed up nice. So let me get my pot holders out. Ooh, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. You see, when I pull it out, you'll see it's still got some pinkness to it, which is perfect if I were to, I'm gonna get over here in a nice light and I'll flip over and you'll still see some of the pink. You see, that's perfect what you want. You don't want it to be overcooked because then it will be dry. So you want it to still be pink like that. And then when I flip it over, it's perfect and pink. So this is coming along quite nicely. So I'm gonna put it up here. And then I'm gonna just throw some tomatoes in our salad. And now for the delicious garlic aioli, I'm gonna use a spoon so I can really drizzle it on. But this will add a nice flavor burst to it. And then we have baked potatoes in the oven. And I have a little secret to my baked potatoes. So I give them a good wash. And then of course you prick them all over with a fork. And then what I do is before I wrap them up with aluminum foil, I put a pat of butter and a bit of coarse sea salt on it. So that when it cooks, it keeps it moist inside the potato and it seasons the crust if you like to eat the like the skins of the baked potato like I do. So I have those, I prepped those a couple hours ago and they've been baking for about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours at 350. And you know when your baked potato is done is when you can give it a good squish like that. That means it is cooked and soft. You never want to take your potato out before it is done baking because a hard undercooked potato is just terrible. So let me get a plate. And we're gonna assemble a sandwich. I'll put it right here so you guys can see nicely. So I've got a bottom and I've got a top and you put it together. Now look at that. You've got a lot of meat and cheese to the ratio. Perfect. And look at these baked potatoes. They are perfect. They're still juicy and moist. And then look, you have a delicious skin at the bottom if you want to eat it. It's like a fried potato skin there. So we can just cut this open and you can see how moist and tender this baked potato is. You can see it's not dry or super starchy. And this is an Idaho potato, so it is really moist, and that's just by making sure you put it in the aluminum foil, you give it a good wash, add butter and salt, and then it will be perfect. Just put a little bit more butter in the middle. Be a little salt bay right here. Ta-da-da-da-da. And then, if you're like me, you love a nice dollop of sour cream. One thing my husband does that is really weird is he puts Worcestershire sauce on his potato. I've never heard of anybody else doing that in the history of man, but he swears by it. I think he's a little crazy. But now I'm gonna give a nice little stir. And we have our salad. And then we also, I cut up some pineapple earlier, so we'd have a bowl of fresh pineapple. But easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm gonna take a bite of my delicious sandwich so you guys can see. Absolutely delicious. Well, thanks for joining me here today. Please like and subscribe.